going on? I already lost my mind when Retro posted a single image yesterday on their Twitter banner. But right as I was about to sit down to record this one, they posted another one, this time on ArtStation. What does this mean? I am freaking out. There's so much we could delve into here. Just starting with the first image, I mean, this came out of nowhere. I was just casually scrolling through YouTube and then suddenly everyone's posting about Metroid Prime 4 and I see this image and I swear to God I almost passed out because this is the first time we've seen Metroid Prime 4 since 2017. It's the first time we've seen absolutely anything of it. Granted, it's concept art, it's just a Twitter banner. It's probably not indicative of the final game, but it's something. And that's more than what we've had in 5 years. That alone is madness. But at first glance, you might think that there's nothing to it, but in reality, there is potentially some secrets hidden in that image. Such as Samus's shadow. Because if you look, the shadow doesn't match up with Samus at all. In fact, the arm sort of placement seems to be switched around. But I'll tell you what the shadow does match up with. It matches up with Psylocke's. The right arm of that shadow looks suspiciously similar to the shock coil on Psylocke's right arm. Is it Psylocke's? Is Psylocke in that image looking at Samus? Is that even Samus? Is it Dark Samus? Because it looks more buff than regular Samus and the right shoulder looks slightly different, but maybe it's just a different suit. I don't know. There's 101 things I could say and I just cannot gather my thoughts coherently at the moment because I'm just so shocked that all of this is happening. The ship above Samus, it looks like a spaceship, right? That looks like the Delano 7. Those curved things kind of remind me of the wings we saw in like Metroid Prime 3. I'm probably looking too much into that, but that's possible, especially if the shadow is Psylocke's. You have the bluish glow tinge and the weird things at the corner. They kind of look like evil eyes at first glance, which makes the image more spooky and creepy. I could give you a million theories on what's going on and what this actually means for Prime 4, but in the interest of keeping this straightforward and to the point, I just want to gush over this and just gather my thoughts together because I'm way too excited at this image than I should be. I'm way more excited at this image than I was with Metroid Dread. My reaction with Metroid Dread, I had so many goosebumps. I felt like overwhelmed by that game. But this, the feeling I'm getting from this image alone is what I imagined the trailer for the game would get me. And if a single image is doing this to me, I worry what the trailer might do. It might put me in a coma. But jokes aside, this is potentially really exciting. I would have agreed with some people and said it doesn't mean anything until Retro posted another image today. This is on ArtStation and technically it's not anything different. It's just for job hirings. Your next mission awaits, it says. It could be just a reference to hiring new people. But Samus herself, the silhouette is different. The armor design looks different. The last image kind of had a dark suit kind of vibe. This kind of looks like the light suit mixed with the Metroid Other M Varia suit. So maybe she has different suits in the game like usual and that's what it is, or maybe it's Samus and Dark Samus. I don't know. There's a million things you could say, but it's clearly not the exact same image. Sometimes the previous image does show up there on ArtStation, but that one is the most common one that shows up. So we now have two renders of Samus. The fact that it's happened twice, it's got to be more than a coincidence. It's got to mean something, and maybe I'm looking too far into it, but it's got to imply something. I don't think, or at least I don't want to believe, that Retro Studios would carelessly update their Twitter banner with something like that, knowing exactly what it would do to everyone on the internet. They know exactly that people will go into a frenzy when we see anything about Metroid Prime 4. So if the game is not going to be shown this year, or until like the end of next year. They wouldn't do this. This would be way too careless, and I think Nintendo would have forced them to take it down. The fact it's still there, and the fact we have the second render, tells me this is planned. They wanted to give us something, and maybe so they could just have an image to accompany their job hirings or something instead of using the old Metroid Prime 3 renders. Possibly, but I don't know. If we get a third one, and at this rate maybe we will, then we'll know for sure. But right now, I am fairly confident this means we're seeing Metroid Prime 4 this year. We've gotta. There's no way this is random. This has to mean we're going to see a trailer for Prime 4 later in this year. Because that's definitely not Metroid Prime 1, 2, or 3. Sure, the rumors could be true and they're remaking Prime 1, but they're not going to add a different area to the game. At least, presumably not. And that artwork was never seen before. That's a completely new area than anything we've seen. So, by process of elimination, it's Metroid Prime 4. So whatever way you look at it, it has to point in the direction that Metroid Prime 4 will be getting revealed this year. Presumably at E3. It's interesting the timing of this, because we just had the Nintendo Direct like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and now we're getting these images. Maybe that was deliberate, maybe Nintendo didn't want to detract away from the other announcements in that Direct. Who knows? Or maybe there's going to be a Metroid Direct. Highly unlikely, but it's a possibility. But I am now more confident than ever that we're going to see the game at E3. Before this happened, I was actually going to do a video coming off of my Nintendo Direct reactions. I was going to do a video talking about E3, why I'm excited, and what the Nintendo Direct means for what we could see at E3. I'll still do that video, but granted, now I have to push it back because I have Metroid Prime stuff to talk about. But this is really crazy, and sure, maybe I'll be very upset in like 2 months when this means nothing at all. Quite possibly, but right now, this feels really significant. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and assume they're not just like pulling our leg here and trying to be mean and torment us. The fact it's happened twice now. They're baiting us. This is their way of letting us know, look, the game is coming along alright. Here's something to tie you over. We're going to show you the game later in the year. It's not going to release this year. Metroid Prime Trilogy, or one remake, whatever you believe in, is going to release this year. That I'm certain of. I'm certain Prime 4 is a November 2023 release. Maybe it's earlier. If it is, fantastic. In the extremely unlikely scenario that Metroid Prime 4 turns out to be a 2022 game, I will take that. Even if it means we're not getting the trilogy, I'll still take that. Because the sooner I get to play this game, obviously the better. But realistically, late 2023. But we'll have no way of knowing until they give us something a bit more concrete than just shadowy images. But yeah, I can't get over it. This came out of nowhere. There was no prompt for this. My body was not ready for this announcement. And I'm in overdrive right now. I feel like I'm on a million psychedelics or something right now. The rush from these images, these concept art of all things, it's got me really going, and I'm really fucking excited, because my excitement for Metroid Prime 4 was on the down low. Ever since the delay happened 3 years ago, I told myself, the game's not coming for many more years. You're not going to hear about it for like another 4 years. Forget it even exists. Focus on other games. Forget about Metroid Prime 4. And when you see it again, it'll be a wonderful surprise. That's been my mindset. I've done videos on it since then, sure, but I haven't been exactly hyped. If you know what I mean. Like, I am excited, but I'm not devoting my like mental energy toward that, because it would just be exhausting waiting every single day for the game knowing it's years away. You just feel like you're wishing your life away. That's kind of what it was like going through 2018, expecting the game at every Direct, every E3, Game Awards. So right now, like, my hype my hype level and just speculation territory I'm trying to keep low. But these images, man, they're pushing me over the edge, and I'm really bloody excited to see where this goes. Holy shit. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think of all this crazy stuff? Do you think these images mean anything? Do you think the second one is deliberate? Do you think it's just for the hires? Do you think these are both Samus? Is it Dark Samus? Was I right about Psylocke? Do you have any theories of your own? Are we going to see Metroid Prime 4 this year? I want to hear everything you have to say down in the comment section below. And yeah, with that all said, thank you all for watching and please subscribe. Nova Scorpius out.